Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Fireside chat, where our panelists will be sharing their personal journey with you. Margarita will be hosting and moderating this discussion. You can actually utilize the Q&A session to ask the panelists questions, and we will either answer you directly in the Q&A, or Margarita will actually address your question to the panelist. So without further ado, I will now pass the stage to Margarita, who will introduce herself and the panelist.
Hello, everyone. Please, the panelists proceed to the yellow room. And while we are doing so, my name is Margarita. I'm CCMO and co-founder of Sensible 4. Previously, I was running a Platform 6 startup house and startup activities in Tampere. And I've personally managed to see lots of fascinating tech talent journeys in Tampere and in Finland overall. And today we are going to dig a little bit in more depth how to actually start in Finland, why start in Finland, right? What is the motivation to do it exactly here, and how to build a successful career path if you are in tech. And actually tonight or today, we have quite fascinating set of panelists from Siemens, Nokia, GE Healthcare, and Amazon Ring. So without, again, further ado, I would like to open the floor for the introductions from the panelists. And maybe, Harris, would you like to be the first one?
Yes, sure. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me for this panel discussion. I'm happy to be here. My name is Haris Naeem. I come originally from Pakistan, and I moved to Finland in 2022. I came here for my master's studies in robotics and artificial intelligence from Tampere University. Previously, I had done a bachelor's in electrical engineering. And after completing my studies in Tampere, I had my journey of job hunting, and which we will discuss later. And then currently I'm working in Helsinki as an automation engineer at GE Healthcare.
What is your role there?
I'm working as an automation engineer. So basically on the development of robotics and automation systems for manufacturing lines.
Amazing, super interesting. We're happy to dig more. Samaneh, would you like to be in the next one?
Yes, thanks for inviting me as well. It was an honor to be here. I am my full name is Samaneh Ammari. I am originally from Iran. I moved to Finland 2017. I hold a bachelor degree from Tehran in electrical engineering. Then I completed my master's degree at Tampere University in the field of embedded system information technology. And then after that, I started to work and I stayed in Finland. So at the moment, I think I worked for 5 years and a half at Nokia. And around 1 year and a half is that I'm working at Siemens at the moment.
Okay, maybe we will then transit to more Nokia representatives. Maria, would you like to be the next one? I suppose you guys met there, right? In your Nokia time.
Yes, that's right. Right, so yes, thank you for having me. My name is Maria Santamaria. I'm originally from Colombia, and I did both my bachelor and my master's in computer science there at Universidad del Valle. And later on, I did my PhD in Queen Mary University of London. And when my PhD was about to be finalized, it was time for me to, look for the next step. That's what brought me to Finland. I arrived here in 2020, initially as an intern. And I'm currently based on Tampere. I'm in Nokia Tech, where I work as a principal researcher in video compression. Yeah, that's a bit about me.
And I guess the last but not least, Mehmet.
Thank you for Thank you very much for inviting me to the panel as well. It's really good to be here. I'm Mehmet Çelik, a senior embedded software engineer right now working in Amazon Ring in Tampere. I have been building software for over 20 years, mostly in embedded systems, IoT and smart devices. Right now, I'm focused on making the Ring cameras better, especially in improving the image quality of the cameras, which keeps me forward and learning every day. I moved to Finland about 2.5 years ago from Turkey with my family, my wife and 2 kids. Yeah, that's about it, I think.
Yeah. Did you do your degree in Turkey or
Yeah, I
somewhere
did.
else?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my bachelor's is in like one of the universities in Turkey as an electrical engineering, but I have been working as a software engineer since then.
Yeah, and no degree in Finland yet.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so interesting. We have quite different paths how you transitioned to Finland, and whether it's for university, right, and a degree here, or straight to work, so to say. Let's take the first path, right, the education. Obviously, back in the days, Finland made it to the top of the news and all the headlines, how amazing Finnish education is. Is it something that attracted you to study here, Haris, or is it something else that you discovered in Finnish education? Maybe a specific area you wanted to go and dig into, or did you already plan the transition path to a career and had some company in mind? Let's start with that.
Yes. Well, as you know, that Finland has one of the best education systems in the world, and I had that in mind when I was looking for opportunities for my masters. So basically, when at that time I was exploring different opportunities within Europe, and Finland being a country that has a very high quality of living and really nice like work-life balance and good education system, good opportunities afterwards. So this motivated me to apply here, and obviously at that time I had no idea about my future, like where I would work, but like even if I would stay in that specific area, like robotics. But the only motivation was to come here to study and experience the life and culture here.
In Finland. Did you hear any, let's say, rumors or not rumors? Maybe there is this perception that Finland is the kingdom of engineers, so that engineers are so important for this country that probably you will find a lot of like-minded people.
Yeah, I did hear something about it.
Yeah.
So this was like a positive thing for me because coming from that background, I was a bit motivated that hopefully I could find something here.
Yeah. And what about the program? Was it difficult to navigate within the Finnish higher education offerings? So, because like obviously you could go to any even cities, right, in Finland, for example, Tampere, right?
Yes.
So why did you choose another area?
Yeah, actually, I think it was not that difficult to be honest, because coming from Pakistan, I believe that during my bachelor's, I had experienced quite tough time also. So uh, obviously it was a transition because I did electrical engineering and I transitioned towards more, you can say, software side in AI and robotics. So that was one challenge that I had to face, like initially. But overall, I think I thought that it was not that difficult to manage. Of course, if you work hard and you study like according to the methods here.
Samaneh, what was your experience in terms of first coming to do a degree here? Is it something like that you were deliberately looking for specific programs, specifically in Finland, or what were your thoughts? And you are on mute.
Okay, so yeah. So when I applied for university, I was a little bit confused what major would be the best for me. But I applied for 2 major and I got accepted into embedded systems. I kind of felt lucky to be able to study at Tampere University. I learned a lot during my bachelor time, but mainly it was theoretical. But during the time that I studied in the Tampere University, I learned a lot. So we were doing many things practical. Many courses were aligned with many companies. So there were a couple of courses that were offered by the companies, and then they were also like hiring lots of interns during that time. I had this opportunity to try variety of possibilities of the area of the work during the Tampere University time of the master studies. So I would say before I apply, I didn't have this view that how it is. And at the first, I was a little bit like disappointing when I moved to Finland because it was really a small city and it was really like, I think in 2017, there was no store 24-hour open. After Corona, they started to open the stores a bit longer. But then during the program, when I studied more and I learned more about the system in Finland, the welfare and everything, I really felt happy and grateful to be here in Finland. So one of the things that was like for me that helped me a lot was that the courses and the studies were really preparing me for the industry. And then I was able to find a job because of that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I know that sometimes during these programs, they even have introductions to future employers, right? Like you could have a session and ask maybe HR or the engineering teams, and sometimes they even come to headhunt students from the university.
Yes, that's true. We had a real-time system course, which was Linux driver development, which was organized by Bapisa company. We were having a PCB design course, which we really designed the PCB, which was organized by another company. We had the like RTL verification code and like a little bit like on the more like on the semiconductor area, and that was mainly supported by Nokia. So they were like really the courses were really near to industry.
Yeah.
And in that aspect, I would say that I learned a lot. I learned like we had many programming language courses. Like we had, actually I took maybe extra, but there was like a programming 1, 2, 3, which was Python, C. We had VHDL courses. Like it was really comprehensive. And then I believe that many of my classmates, they joined really different variety of industry.
Amazing.
So that was a good, really amazing opportunity at the Tampere University.
Yeah, so there is a little bit of a more clear cut out path, right, into transition to the working life where you can experience different potential employers, areas that you would like to work in. Haris, did you have the same experience that there will be companies approaching you or like the specific areas that you could already try things out and start even maybe working within some programs?
Yes, it was like that. The studies here are quite practical oriented. So you learn the skills that are necessary for the industry, and also during different sessions, courses, and events, you get to interact with the employers as well. So you can get to know more about the actual work that is going on in the industry right now.
And did you manage to land your first job because of this link between universities and potential employers?
Kind of, you can say, because I worked at the university as a researcher for around 1 year, and then after that, I applied here. So my experience of working there was helped me to secure a job here.
Yeah, like skill set wise, right, and experience wise.
Yes.
Not direct like introduction, or they didn't send you an offer straight away.
No,
So,
but yeah, of course, I got the skill set and experience.
Yeah, Samaneh, was it the same for you, or did you get an offer based on your studies?
There was a job fair at the university, and then I was a little bit too persistent for finding the job. So I was like, it was the first day of the university, and then there was a job fair. First semester, it was September, and I haven't yet started. And then in the job fair, I was like talking with one of the guys from Nokia, and then I asked him some questions, and then he said that if you are interested, we have an interview for the thesis work. I went to the interview. I was brave, but they didn't hire me. They said that we are looking for a thesis worker, someone who is already finishing her studies. Then next year, same time, September, job fair, I went to the same guy and I said, you interviewed me last year. Now I have passed some courses. Can I come for summer job? And then another person from Nokia contacted me, and then I went and I got the position.
Amazing. So like your persistence, right? Like secured
Yes.
a position, the first position in Nokia.
Yes,
Okay.
it was a trainee position. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So we can see kind of this angle that you can start your career path in Finland by acquiring a degree, right, and using the tools within the university. But let's go to another side. If you're don't have a degree from Finland and you just start from scratch in a new country, Maria, like as long as you are also in Nokia, how did you get there? What was your path to that, and was it difficult for you to get through?
Right. So as I mentioned previously, my PhD was coming to an end. I had a studentship at the time, so it was time for me to start looking, okay, what should I do next? I applied for a job opening there, but it was mostly only industry related, not so much research. And I found this opportunity at Nokia to do an internship. It wasn't exactly what my PhD was about because I did 2D compression with neural networks. This one was for 3D video compression, but I was like, yes, there is some overlap here. Why not try it? So I found the opportunity in LinkedIn, I applied for it, and then I got the interview and was accepted. It was a bit, let's say, hectic moving from London to Finland, like packing everything and then coming here. But I already had done it once when moving from Colombia to London. So I was like, yeah, I mean, why not? Let's try it. This was a fixed contract for 9 months, but I didn't have anything to lose. At the time, the only thing that I knew about Finland, it was the metal country. That was all my knowledge. But after moving here, like having all these, the fact that the society and work environment is a lot of about the well-being, having this separation. I mean, your work is important, but also your mental health, your family. I think that was the thing that basically like captivated me the most. So yes, so again, I was like an intern for around 9 months, but then towards the end, I started again looking, okay, can I get a permanent position? Is this a possibility? So I started to ask my manager and around. There weren't any positions opened at the time, but Nokia tends to have projects with the universities as well. Particularly, there was this project with Tampere University. The topic was related. So I basically went through the same process, applying for the job, got the interview with the professor, and then I had this sort of transition to the university. So I was a postdoc there for 6 months. And around the time the postdoc was finishing, then permanent positions in Nokia were opened. And then I applied back, and again, like the whole process, and was hired there. I would say that it was not like a straightforward process, but it was good that I already had some contact, right? So I did the internship. It went well during the whole time. So I also had the recommendation from my hiring manager when I applied for the permanent position. Yep.
Yeah. So do you think like in a way you were perfect with timing, right? Because you always had a bit extra to do, right? Like and spend time and
Yes.
until like a permanent position got opened. Did they support you during the relocation process? Was there any kind of services provided by Nokia?
Definitely. So the relocation included like the whole package, meaning, the flights, and if you have things to bring along with you. In my case, it was only the luggage. But I also got like a furnished apartment for like 1 month, 1 month and a half, while I sorted out the banking account and the ID and looking for a place, because I was still a student at the time. I hadn't graduated from the university from my PhD. I was able to apply for residence with the Tampere University with TOAS. So that was also like something I would say that very helpful to do. I wasn't able, of course, to view the apartments because I was still living in London, but a friend of mine was living here, and I basically gave her the power of attorney, and she came and looked at the place. We did a video call, and I was like, yes, yes, please get the place for me. And that was like definitely something very nice, because it's like a new country, right? You don't know anything about it. And it's also good if you have someone there that can help you navigate a bit.
Yeah, and that it just happened to be so that you had a friend here, right? So you didn't need to look for someone, I don't know, through social media and connect with someone,
Exactly.
ask questions like, how's Tampere? Like, never seen it in my life, but is it nice?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. And maybe like while we're at this part of your journey, is there something that you would recommend to those that probably discovered an opportunity outside of their own countries, right? And they are not sure if they need to approach it or not, like internship opportunity. So what are the tips there? Like, what do you need to check, right, and be aware of, and how to actually contact? Is it that you need to first have personal connection with with the person in charge of hiring, like online, maybe connecting on LinkedIn, sending a message, because you know that when you're like Finland is very network based, right? So like whoever is in the network, there is trust already established. And if someone outside of that network approaches you, what was your maybe secret sauce to that? How did you
Right.
manage to
So,
break through? Yeah.
so actually, that's a very interesting question. So I mentioned that I work in video compression.
Yeah.
So there are like a few companies around the world doing this. In Finland, if I recall correctly, is currently only Nokia.
Mm-hmm.
There may be others, but that I'm aware of or that I can remember right now. And when I was in London, so this is the interesting part, I was doing an internship at BBC there, also in video compression. And the hiring manager here in Finland used to work at BBC at some point. So, of course, he asked for recommendations or some feedback from my supervisor there.
Yeah.
So I will say that that was definitely helpful. On one side, because video compression is a very specific field or domain, you have like a fixed amount of people, let's say, and they are moving across different companies. We don't have too many people like graduating and saying, okay, this is what I want to do next. I hope that changes so we can attract more talent to this side, of course. So that would be one thing. And the other, as you said, like, yes, connections somehow help. I didn't know at the time, of course. I realized that after joining, when I heard, oh, yes, here and that.
Yeah. So in a way, you need to look around who could recommend you, right? So if there's someone from your organization or from local community who could say, I know this person, she's great, she's a fantastic expert, great to work with her. So someone needs to kind of vouch for you in order to
I think
be.
that, yes, I think that plays an important
Yes.
role. So
Yeah.
yes, like get
Yeah.
to know or get people to remember you for the right reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Fantastic. Mehmet, I'm sure you know, like now it's your turn to tell us your story. Did you also have some connection to Finland, maybe a friend, maybe a colleague, so that you could have this, you know, this bridge to the network in Finland?
No, nothing. Like,
You're brave.
yeah, yeah, like Finland is actually really surprising for us. Like our adventure didn't start from like targeted Finland, like finding a job here and stuff like that, but like actually started from a perspective of curiosity and values from a family perspective. Like we as a family, like dreamed about living abroad, wanted to experience like new experiences in another country, but we had always found some kind of reason not to, like live in our comfort zone or live in our extended family. It just never felt like the right time or like had reasons to wait. But when I started interviewing for different companies across Europe, we explored like different countries, understood like their advantages, disadvantages, like what would happen from our family to our kids and stuff like that. But something didn't quite click. Like it was then Finland came into the picture for some reason. Like, to be honest, like we hadn't really considered it before, but suddenly, like after finding a job here, it's became the topic. Like we talked in the family, like started exploring how it was the happiest country in the world. Like surrounded by forests and lakes. Like the school system, the kids are happy, biking to the school. Like everything that makes it a really good environment for everybody, like the peaceful environment, right? Then, came Tampere. It was like a small city that somehow combines the balance between work and life. And like when I got a job offer here, it felt right,
How did you manage to get it? Tell us.
Yeah, it was actually my initial search was started like strategically. Like some of my friends were going to different countries, such as Netherlands, Germany, or Belgium. Some of them went to Spain. We explored like each of them one by one, strategically from our family perspective. But while doing that, I came across a job posting at Amazon that matched my experience and like unexpectedly it turned out to be in Finland. But it didn't, like, to be honest, like I didn't go through what I'd call a typical Finnish application process.
Yeah.
And I only understood that after coming here because I had a series of interviews with people from different countries, and my first team in Amazon wasn't even based in Tampere. Right now I'm working at a Tampere local team, but the first time I moved here, my team was based in Poland. I was working with different teams in England, some of them in Spain, India, Pakistan, Taiwan. Like, I was like, what's happening? Like, I'm in Tampere, but nobody is like.
Why did they put me here, right?
Yeah. Yet somehow, like, I ended up in Finland. Like, sometimes, I guess, like, life just decides for you, and you just go along with it, right? And the thing is, like, I had spent quite a bit of time, like before applying for jobs, like refining my resume. Like this was actually before the AI era, so you had to do it like manually all the time, like trying to change like places
One
like
word
here and
there.
there. Yeah, trying to catch like what's happening from the point of company's eyes. Then, like with small adjustments until it started reflecting me, I was just sending to different countries. Some of them were okay, some of them were not. Then, like this happened. Yeah.
What was your best pitch line, like that you kind of knew, okay, it works on recruiters?
Yeah, like the best speech is actually, where do you see yourself in 5 years? At first, this was a really interesting question because, like, no, there's no single true answer. I mean, even like from the interviewer perspective, whatever you answer, it would be wrong or right. Like, even if you get the same answer to different interviewers, it might be all wrong, or it might be half wrong, half right, or it might be full right? But after getting interviews, like too many interviews, you just happen to understand the question and think about it and come up with a good answer that that actually reflects you. And when you are confident enough with the answers, like any of those questions actually, and this all comes from interview experience actually, then you just answer them confidently, and the interviewer thinks like, probably, I'm hoping that it's good, it's a good answer, right?
Yeah. So in a way, like you need to look at job application process, especially if you apply somewhere abroad, as a learning experience as well, right? That you accumulate a little bit more understanding about yourself, about the labor market, right, and where you fit there. So you're kind of pitch perfect at the end of this.
Yeah, exactly.
If I may ask, where do you want to be in 5 years?
I don't know. I have to ask ChatGPT, but to be honest, like my answer is always like in my past, I worked about like 2.5 years in US in 2006 and 2008. There was this one engineer which was like 55 years old, and he was still working as an engineer, and he was really good at his job, right? And like I honestly didn't see myself as a manager, or I'm a good technical lead,
Yeah.
but I'm not a good talker when it comes to people and reflect what as you see, what I think, right? So I don't want to be a manager. My answer is always like, I'm going to be that guy when it comes to 55, be a good engineer, maybe, in the actual good team that solves the engineering problems and pass it to the implementation and make good designs for getting the things better for our world. Yeah, that's actually my answer.
Yeah, and actually, that opens up another interesting discussion on how actually a career in tech looks nowadays, right? Because maybe feel free to jump in with your comments and ideas. But from what I understand, at least from the startup life, right? Like the road, you can always choose whether you want to be a manager, right? It comes with certain upgrades, but it also comes with certain, let's say, things that you probably wouldn't like to do, like corporate governance and a little bit, of competition and politics. So I know that quite many of my tech friends, they don't want to do that. So they just want to do what they're best at, and that's developing some cool tech. Then they don't care about any office politics and so on. But then there are others that are a little bit more ambitious and career oriented in a way that they want to be the top guy in the leadership teams, right? So this is kind of like two paths that you can go. What you guys think? Like, is it something like this in your areas where you can grow into, right? In the next 5 years, for example, when you grow up, what you want to be? Maybe Maria, because like Nokia is such a big corporation in Finland, so do you see yourself somewhere in leadership?
So that's something that I have actually thought about.
Okay.
Particularly, I mean, personally, I'm more inclined towards the tech lead position, like towards that career option, where of course you need to have good soft skills, because anyways you become a point of contact and you can somehow steer processes as well, but you are a bit far away from the HR side. So that's my point of view. Yep.
Samaneh, is it the same for you in Siemens?
So my work has changed a lot. So now I am a still technical person, but I have figured out that there are many other roles than being a manager and being a technical person. There is also other aspect that you can grow in your career. You can become like you can become a high level designer or high level architect or high level of something. Necessarily developing in the career doesn't mean that you need to have a specific role, as a CEO or CTO or those specific roles. There are many other roles that are really highly valued and appreciated, and there is also there are also different roles like a technical sales and technical post sales. So I did a big career change. So when I was at the Nokia, I was doing R&D development. But now at the Siemens, I am doing application engineer. So it's a little bit of change in the role. But I noticed that when I was changing the role, I was really thinking about it. First, I found it a bit more challenging to change the role in a way that the interview was more intensive. That it was like I really use ChatGPT a lot for the preparing my CV and writing a really nice cover letter. And then I had 5 interviews and an exercise given and everything. But but there was told to me that if you want to grow in your career, you need to change. So I was like thinking that this is the next step for me to grow. But now, and after 1 year and some months in Siemens, I see that there are many different ways to grow. It is not necessarily changing the company. It is not necessarily going to the leadership position. It is like a different way of doing job. So I can see that one person can be really growing in their role and career as a specialist in a specific task. Like, for example, in the embedded world, they can become like a principal design person, and they can have a really important role within the company. They can become like the head of the modeling team. They can become a head of something. So necessarily being in a career, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be in a leading position, in a sense that you don't need to become a manager or the manager of manager. You can be a technical person still, have a technical people, and do the technical leading, as Maria said. So there are different aspects of doing that, and I'm still figuring out that what I want to do and how I want to change. So I am still figuring this out, and I think that it is a thing that this people should be flexible in a way that sometimes opportunities come to you, that you see that there is an open position, and this open position is totally different, and you should take the risk, because we are going to work for 30 years, and if you make a mistake, you can still go back. And that is a nice thing, that we still, like, you can go to another company, work for years, for 2 years, 3 years, and see, okay, this position, or you can take a new role and work for years and say, okay, I made a mistake, I want to go back. And it is totally valid. There is nothing wrong with that. So I really think that it's good to look at it with the open mind and try to see the progress in different aspects, not necessarily in the specific roles.
Exactly. Be more flexible and just trying to understand what you want. And we actually get quite interesting questions from the audience as well related to that, because there is another path, right, for all tech people, is the academia. You can always do more research.
Yes.
Is it something like, and Samaneh, something that would excite you to do at some point? Of course, this would require, writing articles and maybe trying to pursue academic career as well.
Maria, are you going to answer, or should I answer?
Well, I can give my 2 cents on this. So from my perspective, I do applied research. So this goes to standardization, but there is a lot of innovation going on what we do on daily basis. And this is something that I like a lot about my job, because before even starting the PhD, I was a quality engineer, then a software engineer in junior positions, like for 1 or 2 years. And I realized maybe I don't like this too much. That's why I went back to uni, did the PhD, and then I was like, yes, but I don't like this too much either. So I wanted something in between. And I found that applied research is the place to do that.
Samaneh, is the same for you?
Actually, I am still a student. I am a part-time PhD student.
Double agent.
Yeah, but I find it really challenging. I don't see, maybe I really hope that at some point I could graduate and get a PhD degree, but this is not my target, like having a degree. I see the process of learning and trying to be up to date with the technology, because as you see, the technology develops super fast, and I try to use it as an opportunity to be matched with the technology. So like one of the things is that now there is a trend of AI and everyone wants to be matched with the AI. Like we were playing the bingo game that how many AI word is going to be used in every event or something. So I would say for me, being in academia is to be up to date, to try to keep myself and my knowledge up to date and try to learn how to stay fresh and in the technology. So that is my aspect, my point of view. But I would say it is really personal taste that what you want to do, and none of them is better than the other.
But these worlds are very different, right? Like the industry world and the academic world. So you kind of need to have two sides, you know, like in your head, like, yeah, now I'm this, now I'm that. And so it doesn't create like any difficulties for you, like in terms of living your everyday life.
It is a bit difficult to manage. So I would say my main focus is my work because my earning is coming from the work. But as a hobby, I spend some time to study and see what is in the world and what is happening and try to do something. So it is definitely different. And of course, it depends what people wish for their life.
Yeah, so your focus and priorities there. There was actually an interesting question to Haris as well. How did you manage to land yourself a research assistant role? And are there any tips, secrets, kind of shortcuts there?
Yes. Well, I would say that try. Well, what I did was that when I came to Finland, actually it was COVID time, so I did part of my studies online. Then when I came to Finland, I had already done some credits courses. So I started to contact the professors through email. Uh, so I sent them my transcript, my CV, cover letter, and just asked them that, do you have any project where I could work for my thesis? So like I sent email to every professor in my domain, and luckily most of them replied, and I got interviews, like 2 to 3 interviews, and then I secured my first position at the university as a research assistant. So I would say that try to look out for professors that are in your domain, or even if like slightly out of your domain. Let's say for software, there are different domains. So try to contact professors directly, and hopefully, if they have funding, if they have resources, they need resources, they will definitely hire you.
Was there anything specific that you mentioned in your email, like why they should hire you for this role, what you can bring to this professor?
Not really. I just like I did like mention that let's say in robotics I would like to work on this domain, like computer vision and robot manipulators. So like depending on the professor's research, I tailored it to the tailored every email according to them. So if that helped me to like according to their projects, they send like, okay, we have this project, and if you're interested, we can have an interview. So even like I had 2 to 3 interviews which were not slightly in my domain, so then I did not go forward with it, and I chose another research.
Did you have to read all the papers of those professors and like them online?
No,
This is
I
amazing
just
research.
had a brief, like you can say, brief overview of the different projects they are doing.
Yeah, okay, at least understand like in which area they're like active
Yes.
at the moment. Yes.
Yes.
We all actually have quite a lot of questions about Nokia. And the first question is, Samaneh, like, why did you leave Nokia? And another question is, how did you get into Nokia? How to get into this to the interview stage in Nokia? So maybe you can reply a little bit about your entry and about your exit of Nokia.
So my interview was through the job fair in the university, but at some time Nokia had a referral program as well. So I highly recommend that you connect with the people through LinkedIn. In any company, actually, the current job that I also got is through a referral. So I had a friend in Siemens and she was changing role within the Siemens. She reached me out and asked that there is a position, do you want to join us? So that was the reason that I exited Nokia, because I got the opportunity to work in another company and it was nice. So in general, I would say I have seen it also in many other friends and other colleagues that they also get a job offer through the networking. So first, if you are new in Finland, I would say the job fair of university, even if you are not a student, or also the job fair of the international house, Tampere, that they organize. Also, any job fair is recommended because you will be connected to the people who are hiring manager. And then through LinkedIn, you can connect with the people within the company. If there is an open position, you can reach them and ask them how they can help you to improve your CV. And then they also sometimes share if there is an open position in the company. So if you follow them, you can hear those hidden jobs through them in the LinkedIn. So I would say the main aspect for me was networking. So I knew someone in the Siemens, so I got the interview. Of course, it was referral, but still it helped a lot because you stand out. At least they review your CV and everything. So
did Nokia actually try to keep you in the company? Did they kind of counter offer anything that Siemens, like, we can offer better salary, or we can promote you, or did they make any attempts to keep you?
it depends how you exit and if you try to negotiate or you want to exit. So that is depending. People choose different style, that how they would like they get an offer and they negotiate with their manager that to stay in the company or not. But when my friend reached out to me, she asked me that if you get the position, are you moving or are you going to play the negotiation tactic? And then I promised that if I get the position, I will move to my friend. So, and then I moved. So I didn't play the negotiation game.
Do you guys have this experience? Like, did you try to ever negotiate anything within the company, a better role, or like, did you try to move in the career ladder somehow? Because obviously, like, there was an interesting question, for example, to Mehmet, like that, did you feel any difference in working environment if it's Amazon USA or Amazon Finland or Amazon Poland, because you experienced them all, it seems. Did you notice anything? And is it more common, at least for the US, to move fast in the career and try to negotiate things in the work environment? Or have you tried, for example, to move from Finland to the US?
Not from Finland to US, but in the past I tried to move from Turkey to US. But in the end, just a small clarification, I didn't work for Amazon USA. I worked at a different company in the avionics defense sector. But what I can compare is that like from a working culture in Turkey, moved to other countries such as like Finland, especially in Amazon, it changes and it varies. Like the amount of micromanagement, especially in the working environment, like differs from company to company. In Amazon, it is different. We don't get micromanaged, which is awesome. You get the sense of ownership and you own the thing, then you work on it. But in USA, for example, I don't know. It may be because like it was early stage in my career, but I get like micromanaged a lot, and like I still work, but like it didn't go through like as expected in my career. But you always negotiate your career with your employee because like it's a job. You expect better things, but in the end it's a job and you can find a job somewhere else with better conditions, with better environment. If you're not happy, the important thing is like you get happy when you're working, and if you're happy, you get to better deliver results, and the employer will be happier for you, right? And you get to negotiate it better. Yeah.
Yeah, is it also related to technical skills, right? Because obviously you need to evolve in certain roles, right? And things change within the company quite fast. Um, there was a question like during your recruitment period, right? What kind of skills they were specifically interested in, and at this point in 2025, what they would look for in a tech talent.
Um, like the recruiters actually, it depends on the company, to be honest. Like the amount of technical skill that you can show in an interview depends on how much you prepare for the interview. Like for example, if when I prepared for an interview in the early days of my career, which is totally different now, and I can see how wrong I was just going to the interview doing my best, but it's never enough, and that's why I get rejected a lot in the beginning when I was trying to apply for different companies around the world. But after that, I noticed that something is missing, right? And that missing part is not my technical skill, is the technical skill that I show in an interview. And you can just get that better when you prepare for the interviews and make it better when you're not in an interview. Like, for example, there are a lot of like interview questions that you can find on YouTube, or like you have an amount of different questions in on the internet, such as like Lead Code, HackerRank, that you can find different questions. You try to solve them, and when you get your mind in the best place, when you're solving those and get better on those, on an interview, you get better as well. And you get to show your best technical skill to the recruiter, and the recruiter understands that, this is the guy that I want.
Yeah, they still would like very specific skills. So they were looking for you being able to do this and that.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Like that part is written in the job ad that you have to pay attention. Like, for example, if the company is asking for a C++ guy, then, I am your guy and I can apply. But if the company is, for example, asking for a JavaScript or, something similar like a DevOps, I'm not your guy because I know myself. Like, I can't get that to show. I know things about DevOps, but I don't think I can show that skill to the recruiter before preparing.
Yeah. If someone, for example, wants to work for Amazon, right? Which skills they should show? I'm trying to rephrase the question.
Yeah, okay.
Because they still need
for
the
Amazon,
list of skills. Yeah, I assume.
Yeah, for Amazon, two things are important. The leader, what Amazon calls the leadership principles. There are, if I'm not mistaken, 13 or 14 leadership principles, such as like ownership. You get to deliver results, and in an interview, you get asked these questions that I'm an interviewer as myself. That I, for example, try to understand from you what you did in your past experience. So, for example, I can understand you own the project or not.
And technical ones?
And the technical ones, we ask the question, and it's like being prepared, like a C++ question in my experience. You write the code and discuss it with the interviewer. And interviewer asks you a question, and if you are not, in my experience, like if you are not detailed oriented and like you just write the code, but you don't know how that code works, then it's like you are supposed to understand what you write, right? Yeah, that's
So
that's the technical skill part.
Yeah, so be prepared for this detailed grilling at the interviews and showcase your skills in action. For Haris, another deep question: what SWE tech stack most Finnish companies are interested in today?
Okay. I think it depends. It's difficult to answer exactly like what software stacks they are Finnish companies are looking for, because depends on the field that you are in. But let's say like cloud computing, AI is very like in high demand nowadays. So what I have seen is that people who are working in this domain are getting hired faster as compared to others. But it totally depends on your field. Like engineering has a lot of different domains, embedded systems, robotics, automation. So I mean, whatever your domain is, you should at least know the software, the key tools in that. Uh, at least you should have basic understanding of that so that you can clear the interview and secure the work.
Okay, thank you so much. And one more in-depth tech stack related question to Samaneh. So what's Siemens digging in application engineers and development?
So I am working at the moment at Siemens EDA. So it is a software industry for electronic automation systems, and there are, of course, variety of tools, and Siemens has acquired many companies. So the tool that I am working mainly with it is the Mentor graphic tools, which were acquired by Siemens a couple of years ago, like Questa, Model Sim. I don't know how many of the audience are familiar with the tools, but in general, functional verification tools for system on chip development. So mostly I'm working with those tools. And then so there is a difference between the work at Siemens at Nokia. So I am now more like supporting the usage, like the tools and the different aspect of the functional verification. But previously it was more like developing the product. So it is a little bit different. But in general, I would say if they want to know what skills or what job they are applying, they need to match 80% of the requirement of the job. So if they are want to know if the what skills they would like to get the job, I would say it is good that they review a couple of job applications and then based on that decide to improve their skills in one or two areas, specifically if they have a vision to what position and what kind of role they want. And then there are some online courses that they can get badges and then add that to their resume, which improves a lot in landing a job.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope this was sufficient in-depth skill set and stack replies from our speakers. Just for the final words, maybe we go a little bit lighter version, a little bit people-oriented version. Maybe you can recall some interesting stories of your experience of Finland, whether it's at work in the working environment or in Finland itself when you moved to Finland, when you were living here and still living here. So just give us a fun story to wrap things up on a good note. I'm sure, yeah, you have some stories.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a job experience, but the first night we arrived in Finland, we were placed in a temporary apartment and given a single key. We got from a mailbox at the train station in Tampere, and those postal boxes that you can use. And we were like, which door does it open? You know, like the outside door, the inside door. You know, turns out that everybody knows like one key opens everything. But we got into the apartment and we couldn't figure out how to lock the door. Like the door was open, we didn't use the key, and we thought like the single key is used for outdoor and we don't lock the indoor or something like that, and we tried to find something half an hour in the middle of the night through thinking like doors are not locked in Finland, like and slept like without locking the door. Like we went out the next day, we tried to find something to lock the door, then we figured out the small switch right next to the door, then noticed that, it was actually lockable. Yeah.
The doors are quite a challenge until it's like you need to figure out. Like my problem is when I go visit my friends in the apartments, I never know how to get out because the doors open in a different ways. Yeah. Maria, maybe like when you moved from a big city, right? From London, uh, and you kind of landed in Finland, which is a lot smaller. So, did you come across anything that kind of surprised you, or you found, okay, that's funny, guys, like that's too hilarious.
Yes, of
Why do you
course.
do that?
I don't know how, I don't, it may not be funny, but the thing that I notice is like in the bus stop, people
Mm,
are like meters far away. And then, of course, during the corona, it was so easy to keep your, like distance 2 meters because it's already part of the society. So it was something very peculiar at the time. And I was like, okay, because otherwise you tend to see people, like next to each other. I don't want anyone to pass me. But here people were very relaxed, very far away from each other. It was definitely something very different.
yeah, that's true. Like, based on my experience in London, it's even sometimes common that you chat with each other on the bus, right? Or in the bus stop. People can come up to you, like say compliment or just start chatting where you're from. But in Finland, it probably is a bit weird experience when you, like, from one environment being put in completely different when people just try even not to look you in the eyes and not to sit with you in the bus. So you always have this, a thought at the back of your mind, is something wrong with me? Like, why people don't like me? But then you start to enjoy it because there's no one in your private personal space, and it's like, oh, it's actually a lot nicer. Samaneh, like, did you experience, like you mentioned that Tampere was like really small city for you? So what was your first like surprises?
I think after I moved to Tampere, after a month, they rebuilt the city center. So the statues were moved and everything, and then everything was simple. So at first it was a little bit surprised because I also come from a really big city and populated city. Uh, but then after a while, I got really used to it. So in a way that now, if when I travel back home, I find it a little bit challenging to get to like it's so much noise and so many people. Now Finland is like a heaven. It's like there is no traffic. I can go everywhere and everywhere is accessible. So I think this is the heaven that everyone was talking about. At least I feel really enjoy the Finnish nature, and I'm super happy that there is no traffic here. And I'm so grateful that the weather here is clean and the nature is nearby.
Yeah, I actually also noticed the same. Once you leave it like in the Finland mode, right? Like you can be a bit slower, a bit more relaxed because everything is so secure, and you can just perfectly schedule your day because everything comes on time, right? And when you move somewhere else, it's like, what's going on? Why the trains are late? Why this is late? How do I get from point A to point B without being robbed? So how to survive? So in Finland, yeah, you get in completely different modes, and it's actually enjoyable. Yeah, I agree about with that. Harris, like, what's your experience? Like, anything peculiar you found in Finland?
Yeah, I can share an incident from my workplace actually. So we at here we have a quite a large manufacturing site in Helsinki. So we have different automation systems, robots installed at the production lines. So when I joined newly in the company, one day our manager was here at the team, and he told that we have a little issue in the production line, and he was speaking in Finnish. So and can you come and have a look at it? So when we went to see it, so the robot was broken down completely, and the whole production was stopped. So it was not really a small issue, but the point is that Finnish people are mostly very calm and relaxed. Even if there is like a very urgent or big issue in the office, they are still very calm and composed. They don't show it much. And of course, then after they like do their work like in a slowly, but they get it fixed. So that is one thing that I found very funny at the start, but now I'm used to it.
Did you copy the same attitude? So whatever, like there is some big issue in your
Yeah,
work,
yeah,
you stay calm and then like, yeah, we'll deal with that at some point.
yes. I think you have to be like that here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just recently there was an interesting video on Instagram. You probably know if you're in Tampere, we have these dancing fountains with light shows and so on. And there is an international talent filming the reactions of Finns. And technically there is music, lots of lights, it's all beautiful. No one moves. And then the guy was, oh, I think like this person danced a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
so like in terms of emotions, I would say yeah, it can be a shock at the beginning, right? But then you get used to it and you get into the same, Finland mode, a bit chill and so on. So thank you so much, everyone, for amazing stories. I would like to give the floor back to the organizers, to Karen, who will instruct you on what will happen next. But feel free to stay in touch with our speakers, maybe add them on LinkedIn if you need to ask more questions. And yeah, wish you best of luck in Finland and in your tech career journeys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Margarita,
Thank
and
you.
thank you,
Thank you, Margarita.
everybody, for that great discussion. It's getting late. I hope everyone has got some kind of answers through that discussion. And actually, we will end the whole event and this session now. And you guys can hop on to the closing remarks for a closing ceremony, you can call it that, for this whole talent match event. Thank you, everybody. Bye.